Well, I guess you may say that it's not just the vegetable oil that has seen that increase, but there's also news that some prices are also reducing. Perhaps demand is not as high as some traders had expected. Well, let's find out more about this, and especially today being Boxing Day when you're supposed to opening up gifts and all of that. How many did you get? How many are you sending to me? We have joining us here someone who's dealing with that business. So Monica George Aidu, she's the managing partner of Birth Urge Mercantile Limited, joins us in the studio. You really do look Christmas. I think you're intimidating me on my own show.
Well, you can choose to say that, Amy.
You look lovely.
Thank you.
Compliments of the season.
Same to you.
But the high cost of living in the country generally, how much has that impacted you, especially in your line of business where you deal with gifts and all that?
Well, first of all, to our viewers, Merry Christmas. I will tell you for free that the impact is highly significant. I'm talking about when I look at last year's sales, same period, I struggled to do 30% of what I did last year. So it's a tough call. It's a tough call. In terms of giftings, you see situations where people that would normally want to call you to say, oh, help us to have this amper to do this. It was just, I could barely get 20% of the number of people that would normally call me. So what does this mean for us? What does it mean for me as an entrepreneur? It means for me, my turnover has reduced. It means for me, my profitability has reduced. It means for me, my cash outlay has also reduced because, my spend power has reduced because it's when you have profit that you can spend.
But you also have higher price, higher costs.
So higher cost does not translate to higher profit. As a matter of fact, the profit at this time is a lot lowered because you need to also look at the buying power of people. Whatever you're doing, you need to look at the buying power of people. Otherwise, whatever it is that you have selling will just be there staring at you. In terms of what options we have, why is it that people are not buying as much as last year? So you want to look at the cost of, just like you said in the news earlier, you want to look at the cost of vegetable oil, which I dealt with last year. You want to look at the price of rice. Price of rice last year was 35,000 naira per bag, 50 kg. This year is normal rice, 95,000. If you want to go to premium is 160, 165. So people are saying, rather than buy that, they don't even have the money to buy to gift in any case. So but rather than buying that, if I'd given you something worth 30,000, 35,000 last year, and I give you a cash equivalent of 40,000 naira, it's a better deal for us.
Are you saying people are doing more of cash gifts this year?
Oh my. People are doing more of cash gifts this year. So leaving people like us who would probably look at the gifting sector, leaving us in limbo, if you like. So it's not a good story.
So those gift cards, are they now, perhaps that's the way to go now?
Okay. So I belong to a group where we normally meet every month. And normally what you will get is like a bag of rice. This year nobody got a bag of rice. What we got, I don't want to mention the name of the brand. They just did gift voucher. They put it in the envelope. So go to the store yourself and pick up the gift. And of course, looking at the price of rice, looking at the price of vegetable oil, it's not in any way near.
So what's in the future? Because I know, I think we had a similar conversation last year
yeah.
where you re-strategized,
Yeah.
you look back down to things that are produced locally.
Yeah.
People now started adopting food items.
Correct.
Last year.
Correct.
So I wonder what next year will be like.
Honestly, God will help us. That's just the thing. Next year for me, I believe things would have been a lot better. Why am I saying so? I believe in the reform of the current president. Look at it. For the first time in how many years, the price of petrol at this time was reduced. Somebody can say, hey, in any case, the price went up. Yes, there's inflation everywhere, not just in Nigeria. But for them to bring down the price, number one. Number two, for fuel to be available. So I believe that things will get better.
So you believe that it will be worth the trouble?
I believe so. I believe that next year will be a lot better. It will be a lot better.
Well, how are you positioning yourself as an entrepreneur for that better time?
Absolutely. So I looked at the trend. People are doing gift cards. So it's for me to also consider that. Rather than say, hey, I have a bag of rice to sell, I have 25 laces of vegetable oil to sell, then I design my own gift card. Then whatever it is, you come. I can also do mini hamper for you in the food category. So in the food category that I mean is everybody will eat in any case. So if normally you would have gotten a bag of rice and you are getting a cash gift of 40,000, then that means that automatically that still comes back to me. Then you have to come back to me using my gift voucher. Then that means I will still be your vendor. But keeping quiet and folding my hands, then is all the way to go in today's business.
Well, I'm happy that you are, optimistic about 2025. But what do you do before the tide changes?
Okay, so in Nigeria, I think what we need to do, I'm not saying just me, what we need to do is to cut down on our expenses. And I see people have already started doing that. People are making choices. Rather than, go the way of gifting, then people spend time with their loved ones. Time is also, it's valuable. So rather than they spend time with their loved ones, they do entertainment together, they gist together, they watch movies together. That's something too. So if I'm not able to give you material gifts, then I can give you the gift of my time. I can give you the gift of my love to you in sharing my time with you. So for me, that's also a way of looking at it. But beyond all of that, is that I think as a people, we need to cut down. Yeah, we need to cut down. So somebody like me, I try to do that. And I normally have a breakfast morning every 25th of December, where I make breakfast. I call family and friends together. I have different assortments of things. But this year, I barely did 25% of what I would normally have done. And people came. And in love, we shared what I had. So for me, I think we need to cut down. We need to look at how, make choices. Brilliant choices that will help us to reduce costs, that will help us to reduce wastages. All right? The time calls for that.
Yeah, so it's not just about the government, it's also as individuals.
At individual
and in
level.
our households.
Yes. Even in religious, institutions. This year I see a lot of people where we would have shared 25 kg of rice. We are sharing 5 kg. It is the spirit, it is the love, not really what you've got to give, but the spirit behind it.
Interesting. I guess we have to learn lessons that will help us to survive. But I'm just wondering, you are into the gifts and all of that. Off season, then how is life? How is business?
Okay, so off season, I'm into other things. For instance, I'm into movie production. So off season, then I wear that cap. I'm also into outsourcing, which is going to, by God's grace, go into full blown next year. So we are working on that. That has not been revealed for now, but It's something we are working on by God's grace.
So we have to keep body and soul together.
Sure. We really have to do
Well,
that.
well, I believe with you and pray that in 2025 we would, by God's grace, have this conversation,
By
but
God's
it to be, with a different tone.
By God's grace.
Thank you so much, Omonike George Aidu, Managing Partner, Berthed McIntyre Limited.
You're welcome. It's my pleasure to be here.
Great.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, so let's head.